If you have 24 hours to visit Rome, many people will include the Pantheon on their list of things to see. The Pantheon was constructed 1900 years ago, initially as a Roman temple, but from the 7th century onwards it served as a Catholic church. And it has always been popular among tourists. In the 18th century, Giovanni Paolo Panini painted this interior view of the Pantheon. In fact, he created at least 8 different versions of this view. The reason was that some very wealthy visitors of Rome were interested in this kind of painting as a souvenir. And each version looks a bit different. You can see, for example, the large columns in the foreground of this version, but those columns are absent from other versions. Let's look at one of these works first. This is the version that hangs in the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. It shows some 50 people inside the Pantheon. They are involved in various activities. Some admire the impressive architecture. Others have knelt down to pray or pay respect to one of the many famous people buried inside. And others are just talking with each other. And the variation in their outfit shows that the Pantheon was open to people from all walks of life. But when we zoom out, it is clear that the architecture dominates. The people are tiny compared to the size of the building and the large Corinthian columns and statues, and of course the enormous coffered ceiling. The height and diameter of the Pantheon are actually the same, measuring 142 feet or 43 meters. I don't know if you noticed it yet, but Panini used a bit of trickery to paint these interiors. The various elements of the interior are accurately captured, but Panini actually widens the perspective to show us more than is possible from any single place in the Pantheon. Panini did not mind using some creativity, if that meant that he could show a bit more of Rome in a single painting. This fantasy view, also known as a capriccio, shows various famous Roman structures, including the exterior of the Pantheon. And there is another such example, featuring the Pantheon. But of course these buildings are not located next to each other in real life. An iconic feature of the Pantheon is the opening in the large dome, also known as the Oculus. This was a common design feature in Roman and Byzantine art. Most importantly, it allows light to enter the building, but of course it also allows rain to enter, which helped to cool down the interior of the building during summer. In each version of this painting, you can see the sunlight reflecting on the wall, as if someone is aiming a big searchlight on the wall to highlight a particular architectural element. And it may be hard to see, but in 2 versions, Panini actually added 2 people on top of the dome looking inwards, perhaps a little joke from his side. Over the centuries, quite some modifications have been made to the Pantheon. For example, there are some inscriptions on the wall in Panini's paintings. On the left, it reads Laudate Dominum in Sanctis Eius, which means praise the Lord in his sanctuary. And on the right is another inscription which can be translated as Let his praise be in the church of saints. These lines were added to the Pantheon by Pope Alexander VII during the 17th century, but have been removed after Panini completed the painting and are thus not visible anymore today. Well, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Panini actually made many other great paintings. One of my personal favorites are his paintings known as Ancient Rome and Modern Rome, showing all the famous sites of Rome in a single painting. Again, he made several versions of these works and they are nowadays on display in several museums around the world. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment down below with your thoughts. I love reading them. Thanks for watching.